Hello everybody, welcome to another devlog. I believe this is the 11th devlog that I've made so far. I got a lot of cool stuff to show you today. I got a new boss I was working on for the forest area. I did some playtesting, which is going to be a big subject of this video, and I'm going to tell you how you can use that in your projects as your secret weapon. I made a few changes to the map. I profiled the game a little bit, so I increased performance on a lot of different areas, and I added a few more things here and there, some things with the dialogue, some things with my characters, and just a bunch of little fixes that I'm working on to get ready for the demo that I want to release on Steam very soon. So the boss for the forest area is Ariel, who is like the protector or angel of nature. And design-wise, I kind of made her into just like an anthropomorphic Deku mask, similar to ones in Zelda. So she uses her big Deku mouth to spit seeds and bombs at you that you have to avoid. You have to get kind of close to her because she'll put her wings down, which actually can block bullets, so you have to rush her or shoot her with your arm cannon from afar. And also in the arena there's a bunch of flower summons that she has that also have a similar armor thing where if it closes its petals, you can't shoot it with normal weapons except the arm cannon. And if you shoot it with the arm cannon, it'll make it recoil back and leave it vulnerable for an insta-kill. I think I still gotta polish this boss up a little bit before the demo, but I'm pretty happy design-wise with where it's at. Last week I did some playtesting with my friend Joe, and me and my buddies all hopped in Discord call and watched him play it. There's quite a few things I learned from it.
And a secret.
Oh, what the hell? Whoa, I didn't know you could do this.
Did you make this?
Yeah.
Crazy. This is just a little look into Dad's deep dark.
Oh no. Really? Are you still there?
It's optimized like shit.
I found out that I needed to focus a little bit more on performance, so I'm going to talk a little bit about profiling soon. I found out what people liked. People really like Chippy, the bird companion you have.
This is so cool.
It made my friends laugh a few times. I learned stuff that I should fix or really just not be lazy with. Like, I really gotta get around to making it look like Raphael doesn't have 3 or 4 arms at certain points, because certain animations don't really mesh well together. Like when you're holding the shotgun and then you heal, it'll look like you have 3 arms. So I gotta figure that out. It also really helped me narrow kind of where I should focus on development in the future. I need to focus a little bit more on giving the player hints of where to go and what to remember, because it's going to be very important as the game's a Metroidvania and you gotta backtrack a lot. There's a few times where I had to just tell him where to go or to go back into the level that he actually unlocked the ability to go to that place now. I don't know how to go about this. I guess I just need to figure out how to make those areas more memorable and stick out more. That'll insist that they go back and check on it. Also, developing the map system, I imagine, is going to help a lot with that. But yeah, it's kind of a hard question for me to answer. I guess I'll just discover it over time. I was really happy when one of my friends mentioned that they saw some Ocarina of Time inspiration with some of the designs, and mostly the soul in the jar. It kind of reminded me of the pose from the Zelda series.
This is giving such Ocarina of Time vibes. Can you get empty bottles?
I was happy about that. I think I'm going to spend a lot more time from here on out actually playtesting. I think it really, like, there's nobody who knows what they want out of your game better than people who are actually going to play it, so even just watching somebody else play your game helps you know the flaws of your game development theory or stuff that you should pivot to focusing on. Having playtesters can also tell you what not to focus on as much. I think a lot of the time when making dialogue, I was just really just overthinking it, when really most players are just going to get the information and then move on. And if there's anything like witty or clever, then that's a bonus. I'm not really making Disco Elysium here, so I guess I don't need to have the best dialogue in the industry.
Still better than Bethesda.
True. I know that Valve is notorious for playtesting. The results kind of just speak for themselves. I mean, their game, just look at their games, it's just banger after banger. So they must be doing something right. So I'm gonna copy them a little bit on this front. As I was saying before, playtesting brought attention to performance a little bit. I focused a lot this week on finding out what was slowing the game down and what I can do to eliminate that or minimize the issues. I found out that I had like 200 to 300 animators just running at any given time, even if you are like in an empty room. So I made a script that would just tell me which game objects had active animators, and then I went through it and just culled the animators when they weren't doing it, when they weren't on screen. I actually didn't even know you could do this. I guess I'm kind of surprised this isn't a thing by default with the animator, is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't know, you can just go to the animator, turn on culling, and that'll just make it so the animator doesn't run when you're not looking at it. And I really encourage you to do that with anything that doesn't really move. Enemies and stuff you might still want it on, but yeah, use that as much as possible. I also had a bunch of active rigid bodies when I didn't need it to be, so I also went into the enemy AI code and disabled the rigid body when they were far enough away or not aggroed or not in sight. So if they met all those conditions, I just turned off the rigid body or set it to kinematic. I also found out that every single blood splatter had its own audio source, and that audio source was being left even after the blood spray gets deleted. So the more enemies you kill, the laggier the game gets. That naturally I had to fix. So I just went through and made sure it deleted it. Honestly, I should probably just object pull these at some point, because I know instantiating and deleting objects isn't the best practice when you have a lot of objects. It's usually best to have a bunch of objects that you can disable and enable. But for now, I think this is good. If I want to increase the performance or RAM usage, I'll do this later. I also found out that the way I was designing some things in Blender were just incorrect. I found out that I should probably not be putting multiple materials on each mesh in the world. In the future I'll avoid this, but I ended up doing a technique called mesh baking, which I actually learned about at work, thanks to some of my friends there. Basically, it just combines a bunch of meshes and helps you limit the amount of draw calls you do. So it's really good if you have a bunch of tiny meshes, especially, because it just combines all that stuff into one mesh, so it's only one draw call for that. So anytime I have a bunch of little decorations, like, I don't know, like forks, flowers, bricks, and sticking out of the ground, I'll just combine them all into one mesh with Unity's free mesh baker, and that'll help me increase performance drastically for passes. So yeah, really just the act of playtesting set me down this rabbit hole of increasing the performance and efficiency of my game. So I have playtesting to thank for that. So I can't oversell the just idea of playtesting to you. If you have a passion project, try to give it to as many people as possible. Just have them play it, get feedback from them, see how they play it, see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong. It helps you in ways you wouldn't even imagine. I think especially if you're working on a project mostly on your own, it helps to really get another person's perspective. Good God.
You might have to nerf this guy. Is this supposed to be an animation prepared or not?
No.
Okay.
Maybe there should be though. That's yeah.
Maybe
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Oh, a cake might be good. I do want to make like legs. You can see, so I could add a cake.
Yeah. This isn't good. I need
Yeah.
What's happening? I'm like flying right now. I'm planking.
Yeah. What the hell? How did you get up there? What?
You're not supposed to get up there.
No. What the freak? That's new.
This is Squid Games. Oh my god.
Oh.
Is it this place?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bro's job is to stand there.
Yes. So I also just did a bunch of general bug fixing, getting ready for the demo that I plan to release on Steam soon. I added some more dialogue. Previously, when you talk to the Hub World NPCs, Bug and Vincent, you would have to go through their entire introductory dialogue every single time. So I just gave them like much more brief options if you've already talked to them that will pop up instead. And I think it's a lot nicer. I had to do it. I should actually work on some different variants because I can see that getting a little bit old every time you go back to the Hub World and talk to them and see if they have anything new to say. So I'm probably going to have a few different introductions that you can get. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did this month. I apologize that the devlogs have been spaced out so sparsely. I've just been really busy with like this project, with work, with just family stuff, and I don't really see me getting less busy in the coming months either. I'm moving this summer, probably, depending on what happens with work, but hopefully after that things should finally start to wind down and I'll be able to make more consistent updates on the game, and hopefully by then I'll have a Steam page and a working Discord server. But yeah, I cannot thank you enough for watching the video to its entirety. Please let me know what you think. I love to read comments, I love feedback, and I would appreciate a like or a subscribe, and thank you so much. See you next time.